Hello and welcome to RamuneGaming. Today I'm going to be talking about the E3 conferences. I'm not going to do EA and I'm not going to do Ubisoft. I don't feel that there's a need. They had games, they're the game publishers, it's obviously going to have games. I just can't be asked to go into detail. It's the games that we knew that were going to be there. Mirror's Edge, Battlefield and all that. I'm going to start this one off with Microsoft's conference, because I've got a lot to talk about, but later in the day or tomorrow I will upload a Sony conference review. Alright, so what I'm going to do in these videos, I'm going to put them into sections. I'm going to start with positive, then I'm going to go on to negative, and then I'm going to go on all sort of non-gaming related stuff, like prices and everything. So let's begin. I like to start off with my positive, because it's always nice to start on a lighter note. Alright, I'm going to start off with Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 was shown. We haven't seen it for a while. It looked wonderful. It looked very polished, very nice. Dark Souls 2 is your typical very hard adventure game. Basically, you're going to die a lot, and that's why people love it. I'm actually a big fan of Dark Souls and Demon's Souls, which was its predecessor. So I'm actually looking forward to getting my hands on it at some point and trying it out. Not much to say about this one. It was something that we knew that was going to appear. I'm quite glad it did. It's a bit of a shame it showed at Microsoft in a way, because I know it started out on PlayStation, but I'm not going to accuse them of paying money, but I think there's a little money involved. The next game is Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct is a game that used to be out ages ago on the SNES. It was such a good game. It's your typical fighting game, bit like Street Fighter. Hopefully they can pull it off, and hopefully it's something they've added to it, so it's not something. So it's something new, because we don't want, or what I don't want, is to have another Street Fighter 4 clone or a Tekken clone or anything. They need to add something unique to make it worth playing. That's about it for my positive. I know the list for positive is quite short, but there wasn't really a lot in the positive that I found. So if we move on to negative, under negative I've got quite a lot. Don't call me biased. This is my honest opinion. I'm not doing it because I'm a Sony fanboy. I'm not doing it because I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I'm doing it because I'm a gamer. And the first thing under negative is Halo. I know Halo is a good game. I love Halo. But at the conference there was no information whatsoever. They got Bonnie Ross to come on stage. She said a few words. We saw a bit of a trailer, maybe really short. It was like, what, 20 seconds or so. And then that's nothing. No information, no nothing. They just want. I think it was like their insurance. They just wanted to let us know that we had it. But I feel that's bad, because they should have given us some information to go on. The next game is Titanfall. I'm not a big fan of this game. It looks like a clone of Blacklight, the MMO on PC, which is also coming to the PS4. It also looks like it's got some free running aspects, which are like a cross, from Warframe, and I think that's bad. I think they should make something new and unique. I don't think they should take every feature from other games. Which brings me on to my next one, which is Project Spark. Project Spark is a game that they showcased at the conference where you get to create your own game. You get to create your own world. You get to create your own story. You get to create everything, and that's good. It's a good idea, except it's already been done. There's a game on PC, a free MMO. It's in the browser. It's called Game Globe. It does all that, but with different graphics, and it came out a year ago. It's not even old, and they're still taking ideas from it. And also, there was a few platformers video shots that I saw. It looked a lot like how Little Big Planet took its view on platforming. So I'm not sure what's happening there, but it seems just like a huge clone. I'm very disappointed in what I saw. I know a lot of people are probably excited because it looks different, but I recommend you go look at Game Globe and then you'll understand. Right, next is Rise. It looks good graphical wise, but I'm probably not interested in it because there's a lot of quick time events. They showed a bit where you do the famous turtle remover. No, not remover. Strategy, like in Rome times, where you would all bunch together and put your shields on your head and in front, and you had to do a certain button to make yourself duck down when arrows come and stuff, and it just didn't look that appealing to me. I just too much quick time, and it also relates to the next game, which is D4. D4 is a clone of Heavy Rain, but for Xbox. Instead of using the 6-axis or the PlayStation Move, it uses the Kinect, and I did not like it. There was times when you needed to swipe your hands across to push people out of the way. No one can be bothered to do that. I can't be bothered to swing my arms left and right every time I want to move through a crowd. I'm not going to get bored. I think people got quite annoyed when it was just the 6-axis and the PlayStation Move. So why they would add it to a device which makes you move even more, I have no idea. It just doesn't make any sense to me. However, I have to say, graphically wise, it does look good. But the quick time offense, the use of the Kinect, it just pulls me away from it, and it's a shame because it just looks quite like they've put a lot of time into it, but the gameplay looks dreadful. I'm hoping we see some more gameplay later in E3, and hopefully I can have a better view on that. But until then, I can just say it just looks like a clone of Heavy Rain. Right. The next thing I want to talk about is their support for indie gamers. What games are they bringing from the indie community to the indie gamers? Well, their big thing was Minecraft. The only thing, actually, in fact. They showed Minecraft, and it looked good, but it's there. We know it. It's good. It's been around for 2-3 years now. We know it's going to be good. It's, again, sort of like an insurance. However, what I'm disappointed about and why this is a negative is because it is something we've seen before. It's nothing new. And they did not show anything else from the indie side of things. They just showed this. And it's just so disappointing that they would just do this. They should look at more indie developers and bring them in. I mean, there was that game, Loco Cycle, which was showed at the reveal. That wasn't here. It wasn't shown. I don't know why. I mean, it looks like a good game. It's an indie game. So why not show it as your indie lineup? It just makes no sense to me. But I shouldn't ramble too much. The next game is World of Tanks. World of Tanks is an amazing game. It's on PC. However, the reason why this is under negative, and this is a very big but, I think it was Don Madrick. He said, introduce us to our new IP. As if it's a new IP. It's not a new IP. It's been on PC for 2, maybe 3 years now. It's not new. It's a good game. It's not new. And to claim that it's new, I think is a bit of a lie. He might have meant in the sense that it's new to Xbox, but the way he was saying it made it sound like he was saying it's just a new IP altogether. That's pretty much it for now. There is Quantum Break, but I just can't be asked to speak about it. No one cares about live action games. I mean, it's not even a game really, it's more of a film. I just can't be asked to talk about it. So I do apologise if you are upset that I don't mention that. But basically it just looks like a interactive TV show or some shit. I've got a neutral section I forgot to mention. Basically this is where my Dead Rising 3 is, because it looks amazing. However, it does look like it's removed the comical aspects of the game. The bit where you can just go pick up a bowling ball and bowl down some zombies. It doesn't look like you can do that. You can't go pick up an umbrella and ram them. And I'm hoping I'm wrong, and hoping they just didn't show it. And if they do have it so you can go into a shop in this giant city, and you can go into, say, a record shop and just pick up records and throw them at zombies, then I will be happy. But from what we saw, it just looks like a grittier version of Dead Rising, and it looks like they've just changed it to be more like something like DayZ, and that's something that Dead Rising didn't need to do. And that's it for my games. I'm going to basically talk about now the other aspects like the price and what else they changed which wasn't game related. So basically, first off, the price. The price is £429. This is for the UK. I can't remember what they said for the US, but I think it might have been $3.99. But someone please correct me if I'm wrong. I cannot at the moment currently check while recording. Another thing that was mentioned was that the store isn't going to use fake currency anyway. It's just going to use real currency. I mean, I know that it wasn't fake currency before, but it's just going to be in currency, so you don't need to convert your score or points or whatever it was into money. It's just you use your money and that's it. That's everything. And I like that because it is always quite frustrating having to go convert and work out how much I needed just to get one stupid little game on the arcade. Another thing, they've removed arcade. I don't know how they're going to support indie developers if they remove arcade. I suppose they might be trying to bring them in so it's a mainstream release, like they do with the other games like EA and stuff. But I'll be interested to see what they do there. But it's quite disappointing that they removed the arcade. I always felt that was one of Microsoft's strong points on the 360. It was always nice to know that indie developers had a chance to release their games whenever, not whenever they please, but after being in contact with Microsoft and just talking it out. I mean, there's such games like the game where you shoot zombies. I mean, it wasn't anything special, but the fact knowing that indie developer went out and he communicated with Microsoft and got his game on the arcade is just an amazing thing. I don't know why they would remove it. It just seems ridiculous. Anyway, I'm rambling. Next thing, smart glass. I don't care. Basically, smart glass is when you use your tablet to control the Xbox and vice versa and stuff like that. But I don't care. When I'm in my front room with my TV and with my Xbox, I'm not going to get my tablet out and use it to control the Xbox. I will use the controller or a TV remote. Tablets for me are for work, games, on the go, stuff like that. It's not for games in the front room while I'm watching and playing Xbox. It's for using when I'm away from that stuff. That was the whole point of tablet gaming. I don't know why they want you to use your tablet to control the Xbox. It's not gonna happen. It's just ridiculous. That's pretty much it for everything. Another thing is there was no kids on the stage. There was no Kinect. Well, I suppose D4 was Kinect, but I mean, it wasn't. You didn't really get to see a lot, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm really glad that they did this because last few E3s have been atrocious with the Kinectimals, the Disney Kinect game and stuff like that. It was just so disappointing in the last few years, and I'm glad they didn't do it this year. But I think that's mainly because of the next gen, and I reckon next E3 they're just gonna go straight back to Kinect, and I fear that. But hopefully not. Overall, I would say the Xbox conference was a bit balanced, but a bit more pushing towards negative stuff for me. I feel they needed to give more information on a lot of stuff they showed. They just seemed to speed through it so fast that I didn't really understand some of the stuff. And half the time it was just a pre-rendered cinematic trailer or something, and then there was no gameplay. There was like 2 games that I think that showed gameplay, one being Dead Rising 3 and the other being World of Tanks. But yeah, I think I'm going to just say it's balanced, but pushing more towards negative. I'm going to be doing a review on the Sony conference later today or tomorrow. So I hope you stay tuned. This has been RamuneGaming, and I hope to see you more.